I won't be performing tonight, but I am a stage and screen actor. I love the arts, and I'm very excited to be here with all of you. And now, to help get things started, it is my extreme pleasure to introduce the founder of Save World Arts, Helena DeCrespo. Helena, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Are we there? We're all learning about Zoom. Zoom is the wave of the future. It's the wave of the present. And one thing it's allowed us to do tonight is to say hello to the people who were not able to come to the banquet on March 19th. And we plan to make it up for you. Your tickets are still viable. And there's going to be another banquet just as soon as we can arrange it. Save World Art was founded some time ago now, and it was a total accident. I was traveling in Asia and happened to meet a company of opera singers, indigenous opera singers. I didn't know it was an indigenous company. I didn't know it was the last in the world to be this type of indigenous opera because of the slaughter of artists by the Khmer Rouge. But if you look here, this is a picture of the theater, the present residence and theater that we are building for them. It's come to a halt at the moment because of the COVID, and we're very happy that we've just had word from the artists there. But by that effort alone, we have improved the economy of the area of this part of Cambodia. Paved roads have been built there because of our efforts. The health of the people has been addressed, and electricity has been put in for the first time in that part of northwestern Cambodia. This is how the arts can improve economies, can improve life, and express the truth and the artistic leanings of everybody that we have here. I'm an actress. I've been a performer for many years, and in fact, all my life. And I'm so glad that I had that experience that I've been able to bring to Save World Art and to recognize the benefit of this incredible undertaking. I'm so proud of what we've achieved. We are now featured in about 8 different countries, different projects. Every project is different. Not everyone is a performer by any means, as you will see by the program tonight. So Charles, I'm handing it back to you so we can get started and meeting this incredible roster of people who are going to be with us this evening.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Helena. I just want to remind everyone that this is a fundraising event. All of our pre-existing ticket holders for the canceled live event will be receiving a gift from Save World Art. So please send your mailing address to charles.cook@officedepot.com so that we can get those gifts mailed out to you tomorrow. We'll also send this gift out to anyone who donates $50 or more during tonight's event. Just follow the same instructions so that we can get your gift mailed out as well. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Our first artist tonight is, drum roll, Peter Giri.
Oh, I like the drum roll, yes. Hello. This is, my name is Peter Giri. I'm a Capricorn Records artist, and I'm thrilled to be here singing for Save World Art. Today I'm going to be performing 2 original songs. The first one is called In You. And as you know, there's a lot going on inside of each of us, especially in this world as we live, learn, and grow. And I feel my inspiration for this somehow came from ancient Egypt, past life, something. So, In You, here we go. Well, a dream is willing, a power is filled only the voice is still in you. A bird is flying the mountain, crying the voices, they're sighing in you. In you. Celebrate, now celebrate this life, embracing all that we've been shown. Greater learning, sometimes hard to find, serves to open up the soul. The desert is burning, desire is yearning for all the learning in you. In you. As we walk on, we walk into the sun. As we walk on, we walk so slow. Dancing now, dancing round the one. Dancing to the fire glow. In you, in you, in you, in you, in you. Thank you. All right, we have one more, and this second one is called Ancient Spirits. And you know, we have wonderful souls and spirits all around us, some of them ancient, certainly helpful and loving. And I feel the inspiration for this song came from a time when I was really feeling them. So, extra feeling them. Ancient Spirits. Sparkling lights are moving around your body. Ancient spirits, jovial and kind, they're coming round to give a hand right to you. Open up your spirit and your mind. Going to move you. Going to move you. Watching as their energy surrounds you, swirling, dancing on so joyously. Ah, you can't reject this feeling that has found you. Upward rising higher, you and me. Going to move you. Going to move you. Going to move you. Going to move you. Sparkling lights are moving around your body. Ancient spirits, jovial and kind, and they're coming around to give a hand right to you. So open up your spirit and your mind. They're going to move you. Ooh. Going to move you. Going to move you. Oh, going to move you.
Wow. That was awesome. That was awesome. So Peter, we have a question for you.
Thank
So
you.
when you're composing these songs, what comes first? Is it the lyrics or the music?
You know, I find a lot of times the lyrics will, but sometimes it will be the music, and sometimes they both come at once. So it's all different.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. That was absolutely beautiful. So,
you, Joe.
ladies and gentlemen, if you see or hear something that you love, or if you have questions for our artists, please feel free to utilize the chat feature here. We want you to engage and participate and ask your questions, and we'll answer throughout the show. All right. So our next artist is Joe Cantrell, an enrolled member of the Cherokee Nation. Joe spent 16 years as a photojournalist in Asia. His artistry has created the exploration and photographing of the microstructuring of rocks and fossils.
Hi, folks. That's right. I grew up in eastern Oklahoma, in Cherokee County, Oklahoma, to be specific, and volunteered for Vietnam because we were told that's what we needed to do. It was part of the tribal tradition, and was very disillusioned there. Came home, and the same people were saying the same things, so I volunteered and went back. And that time I decided I needed to stay in Asia and try to understand things, which come to me through an Indian filter, through a Cherokee filter. When I was 6 years old, got television, and one of the first programs on was AC Blue Eagle,
Much better.
Indian artist who drew things. He was a wonderful artist, and he enthralled us, taught us a little bit of Creek, and inspired me to start looking at things in nature, such as this dragonfly in my backyard a couple of weeks ago, that transformed my life. After I left Vietnam, I didn't want to come back to the States. So I stayed in Southeast Asia, became a photojournalist for Time and Newsweek and UPI and those guys back when they were real things. And found that the people of Asia showed me a lot that I hadn't understood, and led me to even better comprehension of my place on the planet. So I'm going to show you some of these images, and I want to show you first a transformation in pictographs on the in the Columbia Gorge. They've faded. That's what they look like now. There, as you can see, there's some smudges, but they're really faded. But by treating them with software derived actually from some designed for spy satellites, they become visible. See that? There it is. And here it is in another gamut of that same software. So this opens vistas to me that I had not expected. I visited several years in southern Utah and found pictographs not dissimilar to these among dinosaur bones that were eroding out of a cliff, and thought the ancient ones must have known. Of course they recognized they were bones. They butchered their own animals. They saw that every day, and they put this art in with the nature, so it was part of nature. So maybe nature had art to give back to us, and I've been looking for that. There's another example, sand on the beach, just looking straight down at sunset, and quite a gift, I thought. This is the inside of a piece of lace agate, not very big, maybe ½ an inch across, but look at that beautiful scape inside it. This one is actually this rock, this little rock. One small section of it is that you see behind me, that grand fiery landscape. That it occurred to me, and might have occurred to you, that it looks like something seen through the Hubble Space Telescope. So I'm looking for similarities between them. And I'm also playing with the ideas of Indians as many people have experienced them, which is as something in a movie or on a screen somewhere. And that dates back into the 90s when I shot these. These were regular photographs of living people that I put on a TV screen and photographed the TV screen with film, and then blew them up and made, these are regular color prints, not electronic prints or computer prints. So this is a commentary on the way we're perceived by many people around the earth. This one, another exploration into a fossil. This is an ammonite, which is an ancient, they resemble a chambered nautilus, but they are actually ancestors of octopuses and squids. And this is the center of the shell. You see the wonderful Fibonacci sort of spiral ending up here in the center of the shell. Here's another one just shot a couple of days ago of a lace agate, or perhaps a couple of galaxies colliding in far interstellar space. It's what I'm trying to convey here is the deeper way of seeing and feeling that is oversimplified and romanticized, and ultimately made a racial expression by a lot of people. I mean, even my own tribal elders wear Plains Indian headdresses for the national holiday, and we didn't have eagle feather headdresses. We had turbans, but so it goes. Here's another one, the inside of a flower that I pickled in alcohol and just photographed. And another lace agate. You see, I feel that I go inside these things. They take me in and they teach me things, and then they bring me back and teach me something else. This one is a little bit mischievous, perhaps, because we have the coyote who's the trickster, but 90 million years ago, we had these insects that got trapped in amber. This is actually a 90 million year old bug trapped in amber that I photographed using special processes. Here's another one that for me evokes something in space, perhaps, the operation of the human mind, or some of them, the ones that work. And I hope you like it. Here's another one, the inside of a piece of agate, and another. You see the mountain ranges, the various landscapes. These are all to be found inside our own minds, and these rocks are the guides to them. This is a fossil from a lake that stretched from Wyoming into Utah. All that remains of it now is the Great Salt Lake. It was very much larger, and these were fossils that lived inside that. And this one, I thought I'd throw in a little bit of reportage. This is from Mindanao in the Philippines, where we interviewed combatants on both sides in one place. This is Hazel Tiwi, Warm Springs elder, who was in her 90s, and posed for this. She had false teeth, and she was telling us about playing hooky and hiding in the cliffs and the truant officer coming on a horse, but she wouldn't come up in the cliffs because of the rattlesnakes. And Hazel was laughing and her teeth kept falling down, and it was quite an afternoon. I'm privileged to be able to share it with you. And then here, as a segue to the next presenter, Vajracharya, Nepal. During my time in Asia, this street vendor, I went out for a walk in the evening, and there she was, the perfect image on Kodachrome. Remember Kodachrome?
No, that is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. Wow. I'm kind of without words here. I have a question for you though. So you've obviously been doing this for a long time, and you've got years of experience. If you could impart a little wisdom onto an aspiring photographer, what would you say to them?
Don't pay attention to the internet, pay attention to the world, look at paintings, listen to music, internalize everything and make it your own, make it art. There's way too much emphasis on equipment and the latest megapixel this or that these days. Very few of these images depended on that.
That's amazing. Joe, thank you again. Wow, round of applause. Those were absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so for those of you who may have just joined us, we are here tonight to celebrate art forms from around the world and to raise money for Save World Art. So thank you to everyone who's already donated. If you would like to make a donation, please use the link that's been posted in our chat thread. We'll be sending a gift again to anyone who donates $50 or more. All right, our next artist is Bikram Vaidya, a master chef from Kathmandu, Nepal. All right, Bikram.
Hi, namaste everyone. It is wonderful to be here today. Before I talk about Nepali food as a medicine, that's what I will be talking a little bit today. But I'd like to explain a little bit about geographical location of Nepal. So I have a map behind here of Nepal. Nepal is a landlocked country between India in the north, India in the south, and Tibet in the north. So Nepal is roughly, it's 1/3 the size of Oregon, pretty small country. There are about 30 million people living in that ancient land. And it's small, but you can see it in this map, how diverse it is. The country is divided into like a 3 topographic region. So southern land is more flatter. It has a tropical climate, mostly jungle, fertile plains. Food and cultures are influenced from India in that part of the world. So there's a great ancient civilizations such as the Mithila, Tharu cultures, and Awadhi cultures. So they have incredible, people have arts and musics and cuisines. Center belt is hills, mountains, and valleys. It has tropical climate, subtropical climate, and it has microclimates too. Food and culture are like a mix between 2-3 different cultures, such as Indian, Tibet, and China. So it is very difficult to say that's one particular way. So that's why that makes so unique. So upper belt in the Himalayas, it has an alpine and Arctic climate. Food and culture are influenced from the Tibet and China due to the various terrains in this and climate in this country. We have a wide variety of flora and fauna. So we have thousands of herbal plants, which is unknown to outside world. My grandfather, when I was growing up, he's an Ayurvedic medicine doctor. So I listened to him, how food can transform your body and soul and mind. And we live back to back with the nature and the plants for thousands of years. You can see in down south, we have massive jungles and we have a very freshwater fish. People don't believe that we have a dolphin in our country sometimes. So water buffaloes in jungles, So full of hunting and wildlife. So, and then next thing you see it is yak and mountain goats, and up in the Himalayas, there's so many snow leopards and stuff like that. It is very unique. There are different varieties of seasonal fruits and vegetables available all year around in this country. We have many ethnic groups. Each of them, they have their own culture, cuisine, and languages. They believe that there are about 120 different languages. So think about it. There are different uniforms and dress and music. Oh my God, it's just incredible when I was traveling there, part of the world. 70% of people depend on agriculture, animal husbandry, and horticultures. They depend on the monsoon rain, snow melts from the glaciers from the Himalayas. So I like to tell you one picture right here. It's a really amazing. So that mountain is named after Annapurna. It's the name of the Himalaya range. It means full of food, goddess of harvest. She's the universal and timeless kitchen goddess, not just a goddess, she's a universal goddess. So I grew up in Kathmandu, in Asansol, which is main trading center of Nepal. So every year, our Newari community offer Samay Bhaji, this food. They make varieties of food. Sometimes it depends on the season. Variety of food for offer to the goddess Annapurna. We have a big shrine and we present that for a good harvest. So then we feast, sing, dance, and play music, So one thing about our Nepali people's culture, we greet people with a "Khana khanu bhayo?" Have you eaten food? Literally, that's how we translate. So make sure nobody goes hungry when some guest arrives in our house. So our culture is all giving. Food is the biggest part of our culture. Without food, there is no festival, no dance, no nothing. So there are many festivals named after the food dishes. Particularly, I wanted to show you a couple pictures of this. This particular picture is known as a kwati. Kwati puni means kwati means hot soup. Puni means full moon. Literally, hot full moon day, kind of that. In this day, 9 native beans were sprouted, cooks this food, and then served with a pool noodles. It's very important. Sprouted beans are packed with the nutrients. We are very easy to digest. That's why they do that. So if you look at this picture, up in a mountain in the Himalayas, they don't have much to offer, but still they make torma and then they offer, even they have so little, to the Mount Annapurna. I was visiting these mountains up there. It's just so fascinating to understand and learn from my one culture. Art of cooking has been passed down for generations in our country. So there are older people, they always tell us the stories. We have our one unique cooking techniques and flavors. Like you can see, we still use a mortar and pestle in our house. Local people eat seasonal plant-based diet. Mostly people use herbs and spices for flavoring and medicinal purpose to prevent illnesses, because if you eat right stuff, you don't get a sickness. So my grandparents always thought like this, is known as jimbu. It's a parsley, it is a chive family. And then this is called a Szechuan peppercorn, but this is a timur, which is made, it's different. It's only found in Nepal. So that's a little different. But proper utilization of all these spices is very important. If otherwise you get a problem actually eating spices. Too spicy food can be a problem for your tummy. So this is the fun part. Standard Nepalese people eat meal, dal bhat tarkari, which means dal is right here, it's a lentil, and rice is rice right here. We eat a lot of mouthful of rice. We love rice. This combination is perfect protein. Side dishes, always we serve with wilted greens. It's for fibers, vegetable, and seasonal vegetable, whatever, root vegetables. Sometimes it's depend on the season. We do eat meat. It's sometimes we don't because we have so many vegetarian people, especially during special festivals. We do eat meat. Fermented vegetable, pickles, and yogurt. It's kind of big part of our diet. You know, we love eating those fermented vegetables. Sometimes in winter, you don't get a lot of stuff. So we have to ferment stuff and we eat dal bhat with fermented vegetable and dry leaves vegetables. Each dishes are beneficial for our health. People have survived for generations, follow their oral traditional, how to eat and what to eat. So that's how we survive in our land. So one example right here, I want to give you how people survive for thousands of years in the Himalayas, and people do not understand that part. Up in the Himalayas, it is hard to grow a lot of food, especially rice. Some of people have never seen a rice in their life. Millet flour, buckwheat flours, and corn flour is eaten mostly. Most common this is like champa, is known as champa right here, this flour. Most common, this is known as a superfood. It's a barley flour, roasted barley flour. You can travel miles and miles with this stuff and just eat that, you will have a full nutrition, which is mixed with the yak butter and tea and eaten, we known as a pa. So you can see in this picture, all these potatoes is just fabulous up there because, and then we have a daikon radish and we have a yak butter tea right here. It's actually, this tea is a little different. There are many impressive health benefits from all this food. Most people eat well-balanced food. It is energy force behind the Nepali people. You probably heard about Gorkha soldiers and great Sherpa climbers, right? So thousands of years they have been doing this. Food is not always medicine if you don't eat right. Eating food is very complicated and complex subject. I cannot talk all about this in today. Our family has practiced Ayurvedic cares to royal families, militaries, civilians for hundreds of years. Modernization is really changing this. So I believe our cultures need to be preserved, especially Nepali cuisine, not known outside the world. I am really focusing to help this new generation and outside world how to eat our way of living. You know, nothing is always, everything is not always perfect, but this is my message for today. One thing, eat local, drink global. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Vikram. That was amazing. Is anyone else hungry? That looks really, really good. So a question for you. I mean, all of this is amazing and that's really, really incredible content. Do you do classes like cooking classes or nutrition classes or anything like that?
Yes. Unfortunately, our school is shut down because of COVID. You know, I taught for last 20 years in Oregon Culinary Institute and La Cordon Bleu. And I have taught many classes outside. Yeah, I'm planning to do it, special events again. But once this COVID is over, I'd really like to start again teaching people.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Vikram. That was really, really nice. Okay, so our next artist is Prajwal Vajracharya, accompanied by vocalist Joshua Proto. So Prajwal's training as a Newar Buddhist priest in Nepal began when he was 8 years old. He has brought his ritual mastery of indigenous dance to the West and around the world.
Hi everyone, thank you for organizing this event. So I was so happy to present my dance. This is my temple here, and it's so wonderful to have, having in the temples and performs globally with this. This is so important. So today I'm going to teach that among that, in the Newar Buddhist tradition, it's a really important dance and the music. Without dance and the singing, or without dance and the music, there's no way to be enlightened. That's what we say. So that was also in my ancestor history. Everyone should be dance and sings. Then you can easily get enlightened. So in my tradition, it's a passing down for the thousands of generations. So my piece, among that we have thousands of different dance. So I'm going to show the one piece of the dance, which is called Mahakala. Mahakala, which is this, I'm going to wear this mask, which is like the wilds and crazies and, it's like the thundering and lightning. The concept of this dance is in the Buddhist practice, really important for the Buddhist practice who wear those kind of things and practice to embody with this so you can take care every obstacles what you have in the life, basically. That's kind of concept of this. So the dance is Mahakala, it's a protector deities for those who practice the Dharma or those who practice the spiritual path. So idea is like embodied with this is like it's cut through with all the obstacles and also that is bring you to more healthy and liberating to your body. So you may know like this is unusual for the lots of people maybe. This like I have a human head and snakes as the garment. Snake is all around my body. So and the tiger skins in my body. So this is like it's represented that way how powerful it is, how strong that is. Like anybody thinking about the bad spirit and the bad way to think. So this will be cut through from the root and make the transformations will be happening. But those all our deities is also called Bodhisattva, which is completely compassion and kindness and loving kindness. But loving kindness is sometimes, compassion, the way of talking nicely, it doesn't work in the system. That's why this particular deity is like if you have any problem with the people have bugging you or creating crazy all the time and making mistake. So you make it that wrathful form and take away the whole root. So you never want to deal again with that craziness in your life. So that kind of concept it is in this dance tradition. So we have a Just has been trained this not long ago for this singing, but he was being trained in the classical Indian music with the ragas for a long period of time. And then he joined with us, and he was such an amazing, lovely singer. Joshua Proto. I'm sorry how to pronounce his name. I'm not good in announcing the name. So anyhow, yeah, enjoy my dance. See what you can see. So we have live singing will be happening. So okay, I'll be right with you within a second.
Very, very nice. Thank you so much, Prajwal and Joshua. That was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Prajwal or Joshua, please feel free to put them in the chat. And we really appreciate it. That was really beautiful. So for anyone who may have just joined us, we are here tonight to celebrate art forms from around the world and to raise money for Save World Art. So thank you to everyone who's donated so far. If you'd like to make a donation, please use the link that's been posted in our chat thread. We will be sending a gift to anyone who donates $50 or more. All right, so our final artist this evening is Nigel MacDonald. Nigel began playing the bagpipes when still at school near Edinburgh, Scotland. Following a life of travel, he has lived in Miami, Florida for the last 30 years, where he leads the St. Andrew's Pipe Band. Take us home, Nigel.
Thank you very much. Yes, a small delay there, but we're back online. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for zooming in. My name, as Charles said, is Nigel MacDonald from Dumfries in the southwest of Scotland, and now living in Florida. And I'm here to talk about the bagpipes and to play a little. I learned to play the bagpipes with the Army Cadets in the high school in my little town of Dollar in Scotland, which was right below this little castle here that you see. And this castle was called Castle Campbell. Very beautiful place, at least in the summer when it's not raining. And this I did to avoid drill practice. And over here, I've led the St. Andrew's Pipe Band of Miami for 30 years. The bagpipes are an ancient instrument thought to have originated in the Middle East or Northern India at least 2,000 years ago. And from there brought by the Celtic tribes and others to many countries in Asia and Europe. The best known may be the Scottish Highland bagpipes due to their high sound level in use in ceremonies of various kinds, but many other versions are played, like the Turkish tulum, the Italian zamponia, the Spanish gaita, the Irish eland pipes, and the Northumbrian small pipes. There's even a bagpipe in Chinese called the fang de. In fact, some form of bagpipe is played in most countries in Europe and the Middle East. Not long ago, Sean Folsom compiled a CD playing 30 different kinds of bagpipes. Many of these forms are in danger of extinction due to competition with more modern instruments. The Scottish Highland bagpipe has fortunately survived, in part due to the marriage between it and modern amplified instruments in rock bands, which continues to make it appealing to the younger musicians. The bag of the bagpipes is an air reservoir filled periodically by the mouth or by bellows, which allows multiple pipes to sound at the same time. A melody part, or chanter, and a background drones of constant tone. The Italian zampogna, for example, sounds like an organ with its two harmonizing melody chanters and two drones. Since some bagpipes are still made from the skin of a small animal like a goat, that was probably the way that it was done originally, where the chanter and drones and blowpipes were attached to the leg holes. The first bagpipes I will play this evening are called the shuttle pipes. We have the chanter and we have what we call the shuttle drones. These are actually drones. There are two reeds in here, and they're tuned by moving these little shuttles. And it's very similar to the French musette. And this style was popular in the 17th and 18th centuries, but almost died out in the 19th century. These can be played in small spaces like this without hurting the eardrums. I'll play Farewell to the Creeks, but first I need a little drink. It should be whiskey, but decided against that this evening. Anyway, here we go. Good, all right. So the tunes we play on the Highland bagpipes span the gamut from the very slow marches, laments, to regular marches, and a lot of dance tunes. The principal Scottish dance tempo played on the pipes are the slow and elegant strathspey and the faster reels and jigs. I'll now play a slow march called the Skyboat Song, which is used in the Outlander series, followed by the march Scotland the Brave and the strathspey Orange and Blue, and finishing off with the Liberton Polka, all well-known traditional tunes. So here we go on the great Highland bagpipe, a little bigger than the first, and with pretty loud sound. Again, I got three drones here, three drones, one chanter. now I hope you'll all go and look up whatever type of bagpipes is in your country, family of origin, or whatever, you know. You may be surprised. You'll find them in obscure places up in the mountains, played often by older people. And anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nigel. That was absolutely amazing. I love bagpipes. So that makes me happy every time I hear that. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you so much to Helena for putting this wonderful event on. Thank you to each and every one of our featured artists tonight. And Save World Art thanks you tremendously for your kind donations and for attending this event. I hope you all have a wonderful evening.